be something better. Go make a legacy, manifest destiny. Back in the days, we wanted everything. Mama said, burn your biographies, rewrite your history, light up your wildest dreams, museum victories. Every day we wanted everything. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. What's up? What's going on? It's Rich Wallstreet Williams having our money talks at noon. So we're gonna be starting in just about a minute or so. By the way, so that I'm compliant with YouTube and copyright license, this song is by a group called Panic at the Disco. I do not own the rights to that music. Yes. Talking about money. I love having conversations in and around and about, money. It's, I just been really been spending some time talking with people, reading information, finding out how are people winning, right? How are people winning? How are successful people maintaining their level of success, right? And so the money talks with Rich, it's all about, we're talking about money. We're talking about, ways that we can, be on the right side of money. So we're going to be talking about that as well throughout this week. And that's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week at noon, either Facebook Live here or Facebook Live in Flipping Money, which is my other Facebook group where we talk about how to grow your money, how to multiply your money, 5 to 10%, how we're helping people grow and multiply their money 5 to 10% every day. So it really, it's really exciting, to be having this conversation about money and how we're helping people grow and multiply their, helping people grow and multiply their money. So it's really exciting to be able to do that. So we're going to be starting in just a minute. And listen, it's not something that's going to would take us a lot of time, but we definitely want to spend some time talking about money and our mindset and our attitude about money and how our attitude and mindset about money, how it affects the decisions that we make. It affects how we live. It affects where we go. It affects where we go. It affects how we transfer this money to our children. So this really is, I believe it is a timely subject. I mean, unfortunately, around the country at this moment, and this is in today's March 31st, 2020, around the country, it's a challenging times going on right now, tough times and challenging times. And understand this, friend, that you and I, we're not exempt from tough times. We're not exempt from challenging times. Tough times and challenging times are going to come. And the question is, what level of preparation do we have for these tough times, for these challenging times? What level of preparation do we have in place? How do we plan to overcome these tough times and challenging times, right? What do we do in the middle of these tough times and challenging times? Again, so that's really the goal. That's where I'm going. That's the expectation that I have. There are families, people that we are helping and face these money challenges, and then coming up with creative ways to help them overcome these challenges that people have as it relates to money. So, we got some people logging on, log on. If you want to give a shout out, you can give a shout out. Right now we're on YouTube. And then we're going to be crossing over later. We're going to be on Flipping Money. I mean, so if you can find us on Facebook, you go to @Flipping Money, you'll find us on Facebook. So we are excited. I'm excited. I feel as though it is a personal mission that I'm on to help in the area of finances. And this is extreme. I know I personally feel responsible, for getting information out and helping people get on the right side of money. Because, friend, here's the reality. The reality is, for me personally, I've been on the wrong side of money for too long, right? I've been on the wrong side of money too long. And there is a side that we can be on. And we are going to talk about getting on that right side of the money all this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at noon. So, carve out the time. It's lunchtime. We're not going to spend a lot of time, 30 minutes maybe, going um, through this process. So really excited to do that. Really excited to do that. I'm just checking my feed, see who's coming on, and make sure they're getting locked into what we're doing here. So yeah, thanks so much for being with us. Hello, hello, hello. For those that just joined us, my name is Rich Wallstreet Williams. And I'm going to do a series this week on Money Talk. Money Talk is about having conversations about money, um, getting information from how the wealthy thinks as it relates to money, looking at ways to multiply and grow and increase our money. This is a phenomenal journey for us to be on. This time in the country, unfortunately, in the country, there are some challenging times. There are some tough times. What challenging times? What tough times? Well, today's March 31st, 2020. And for those that, that are viewing this video at some point in the future, looking back, that during this time, there was a corona virus. Businesses are shutting down. Yesterday, the governor of Maryland, I live in Maryland, Larry Hogan, he enacted a policy that said, hey, listen, unless you are going to the grocery store to buy food, or you're going to some type of medical facility to get medical attention, or you are listed as an essential business, everyone off the streets, unless you're doing that. And at 8 o'clock, everything is shutting down. And so we're doing steps to the governor, the state of Maryland is doing steps to help keep people safe and help prevent this spread of the coronavirus. And from my perspective, there's no better time than today to be talking about how to multiply money, how we can get on the right side of money. A little bit about me. My name is Rich Williams. My nickname is Wall Street. I got the nickname Wall Street about 10 years ago. I was working with a company called Seneca One, downtown Bethesda, Maryland. And I'm on a sales team, and I'm walking in one day, and one of my team members says, hey, Rich, you walk like you have money, and we're going to call you Wall Street, right? So at first I didn't like the name. I said, no, my name is Rich. You're going to call me Rich. You're not going to call me Wall Street. But, 10, 11 years later, I'm still referred to as Wall Street. And so, as they say, the rest is history. So that's who I am. I've been in real estate. I've gotten a real estate license in 2002. I'm a real estate sales trainer, business developer, coach. I'm the chief coach. I'm the doctor of development, the professor of productivity for momentum coaching. And momentum coaching is on a journey and mission to impact the lives of 1 million sales professionals, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. And so I've gotten to this position, this place of talking about money because I've been on the other side. There's a right side, and I don't necessarily just mean the physical right and left. I'm talking about the right side of money, where money is working for us, the right side of money where money grows and multiplies, the right side of money where we are living a thriving, satisfied, fulfilled life financially, and everything else is thrown together. Because our emotional psyche is connected to our physical psyche. Our physical world is connected to our emotional world, and our emotional world is directly connected to how we think and feel. And so I'm on a journey to help people to talk about, have a conversation about money, look at how we think and feel about money. Like, for example, here's a question. What if you had a $235 emergency right now? You had a $235 emergency right now. do you have the finances to address that emergency just like that? Drop a comment. If you have the money right now to address a $235 emergency just like that, drop a one in the comment section. If you don't have $235 right now that you have access to right now, you can, and I'm not talking about charging on a credit card. I'm talking about it's in your checking account, it's in your savings account. You got money underneath the mattress in your bedroom. You have $235 liquid cash somewhere that you can go to right now, get your hands on it, and not charge it on a card. You have $235, do it right now, drop a one. If you don't have $235, drop a two. And here's the question, here's the point of the question. The question is, if you and I, if we're working, if we're over the age of 20, and we've been working full time for at least 6 to 12 months, and we don't have at least $235 somewhere in a savings account for when tough times or emergency happens, then that already says something about the way that we think and feel about money. Okay, that already, now listen, I didn't get on here today to hit anyone, bash anyone over the head. That's not my intention. I got on here today because we want to have a conversation about money. And also for those that are following me, you can see some of the stuff that we're doing on our on Instagram. Momentum 100X is where we do some of our training. I'm in the process of setting up a platform where we can do for this platform, for this type of financial education of talking about money. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well. But so let's get into this. So I asked the question: if you don't have $235 right now, liquid cash, it's in your room, it's in your checking account, it's in your savings account, that if you had a $235 emergency and you had 10 minutes to address it, if you don't have access to $235 right now, ladies and gentlemen, that is already an indication of our internal thought processes about money. And it's also a reflection of what we were taught about money. And so we're seeing this slide, and the slide talks about attitude, behavior, talks about our performance, it talks about results, it talks about action, it talks about solution. All of this is part of our money talk. Having the right mindset about where we're going and how we're going to get there. Because here's a reality. We live at the level of our understanding. The reality is that we live at the level of our understanding. The second reality is that wherever I am, wherever we are in life, it is a direct result of what we thought, how we behave, and the decision that we made. Where we are, where I am right now today, it is a direct result of what I thought, how I felt, and the decisions that I made. So if I don't like where I'm at today, if you don't like where you are today, here's good news. The good news is change the way you think, change the way you feel, and change the decisions that you make. Dave Ramsey, the author of Financial Peace University, and he developed that whole Financial Peace University training and teaching. In one of his talks that I saw, Dave Ramsey said 75%, and this is a few years ago when I saw this, and my guess is it's still relatively true. 75% of the people in this country live paycheck to paycheck. As a matter of fact, I read an article a year ago by Forbes magazine that said somewhere upwards of 60 to 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck. And watch this. And in that same article, those who are earning $100,000, about 58% of them live paycheck to paycheck. You mean to tell me that you're making six figures and you still live paycheck to paycheck? Ladies and gentlemen, that is a direct reflection of how we think, how we feel, and the decisions that we make about money. It is a mindset, and we live at the level of our understanding. We live at the level of our understanding. 85% of the people don't feel happy or fulfilled at their jobs. They dread waking up every day. And that's a Gallup poll that was done in 2017. Gallup poll survey workers, and what they found is 85% of the people that they survey, they dreaded going to work. So 85% prospectively, 85% of the working force dread going to work. They don't like the money that they make. They don't like the people that they work with, and they wish they were doing something else. That's a large percentage of unhappy people. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm on a mission so that we can get on the right side of the money, right side of money. Why is only 15% of the working population say, I love what I do? I can't wait to get up in the morning and go to work. 85% of people don't feel happy, they don't feel fulfilled. 30, 40 years ago, we worked in factories, worked a blue collar job. You know, people work 20 plus years and they retire. Today, people are making money from selling apps, social media, YouTube, et cetera. And so there are challenges that we face as we're working. 85% of the people polled in the Gallup poll, they don't like their job. They dread going to work. We live at the level of our understanding. I am where I am and what I am because of the decisions that I made. Bob Proctor said in one of his money talks, mindset talks, he said that want is the only prerequisite to success. You got to really want it. Want is the only prerequisite to our success. Want is the only prerequisite to changing our financial situation. So what are some of the challenges we face today? Right? What are some of the challenges you face? We face not enough. I heard one person said, I have more month than money. More month than money. You know what my response to them was? Why don't you stretch your money or shorten your month? Right? I have more month than money, more month than money. Well, shorten the month and stretch your money. Right? These are some of the challenges that people are facing. And when they face these challenges, they start feeling like, man, I just feel like I was meant to do something else. And so our own internal mindset, our own internal training, our own internal thought processes begin to tell us that this isn't working, and there's dread, there's regret working underneath us. And when we're not happy, when we're not fulfilled, our confidence is affected. We go on the job and we're not very confident as an employee. Our self-worth is affected. Happiness, our health sometimes. Research have proven that there's a direct correlation between stress and physical elements in the body. There's a direct relationship between stress and physical element. Hey, listen, you have a high stress job. Here's one thing that you can do to help reduce or help eliminate some of the stress that you feel. Go for a walk 20 to 30 minutes every day. Exercise, do some type of exercise where your heart is elevated, then it comes down. It's elevated, then it comes down. So you're doing something to get your heart going for 15 seconds, then you're resting for 5 seconds. Then you're doing something to get your heart up for 15 seconds, and then you're resting for 5 seconds. So these are stress copers, right? Finances can suffer when we're not happy and when we're not fulfilled. There's a loss of motivation. I do a fair amount of motivational speaking, and here's what I've discovered over the years as it relates to providing motivational speaking. I only provide motive aid. I'm a motive aid speaker, not a motivational speaker. Why do I say that? Because I am only providing aid. I'm only providing assistance to something that should already be there. If you are not motivated, then my aid to your motive won't work. So finances can suffer, right? But there's a better way. What if things could be different? What if we started going down a path with the thought, I've heard Bob Proctor say this, that nothing is ever created or destroyed. Everything that we need is already here. Nothing is ever created or destroyed. Everything that we need is already here. So you mean to tell me that there are ways to win financially? It's already here. This is just money talk. We're just having a quick conversation. We're talking about money. It's money talk, right? This is just a conversation about money talk. What if things could be different? Well, here it is. This is how we're going to get on the right side of money. I'm going to end with this today. This is how we get on the right side of the money. So you're looking at this pie chart, 60% of the working force in the country, they're working for someone else. They're exchanging time for money. They're exchanging time for money. Then 35% of the working force in the country, they're self-employed. That means that that person went out and started a company and they're self-employed, which literally means that you went out and you bought a job. Now, there's nothing wrong with being self-employed. On some levels, I'm self-employed. However, I've started tapping into the other side or the other slices of this pie. And 1% of the population in the country, 1% are investors, and the other 4% is business owners. So my goal is to get into the 5%. And my goal is over the next 90 days, I want to take as many people as possible. As a matter of fact, my personal goal is to help at least 30 people over the next 90 days get into the position of being a business owner and an investor, right? Robert Kiyosaki defines wealth as relates to passive income. And that is when your passive income exceeds your living expenses. So if it costs you $3,500 a month in your budget, then your passive income needs to exceed that. When that happens, you're going down the path of wealth. Robert Kiyosaki also, he's an author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, also mentioned that wealth is being defined as the number of days that we live forward without a paycheck. When your last paycheck, how long do you live beyond your last paycheck? Is it 5 days, 3 days, 2 months, 1 month, whatever? All right, so this is getting on the right side of the money. Here's a final thing I want to say about this, and I have more conversations on this later. I know I'm talking fast because I don't want to be on here long. You're watching this at your lunchtime, and I really appreciate you taking time to watch this. So 95%, right? 95% make up only 5% of the entire market, whereas on the other side, you have 5% making up the entire 95% of the market. So if I had $100, I had $100 and I walked into the side of the room where there were 95 people, 100 people, 95 people in one room, 5 people in the other room, right? So if I had $100, I walk into the room where there are 95 people that are making up 5%. They're competing for 5% of the market. So 95 people, I take $5 and I throw it up in the air. 95 people are competing for those same $5. I walk into another room where there are only 5 people and I have $95 left. And I throw the $95 in the air and there's 5 people in the room. Now they compete for the $95. Question, in which room where each individual could potentially have more money? The answer is obvious. If you were in the room where there's only 5 people and $95 to share, compared to in the room with 95 people and you're competing and fighting for $5. That's a mindset that has created a living and thinking on the left side of money. This week, we want to talk about how to get on the right side of the money. And I have invested some time into this and come across some vehicles and some resources on how to get on the right side of the money. But that's all for today. I really appreciate you carving out some time on lunch to join me in this conversation. Again, I'm going to be having this conversation Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, 12 noon, either in flippingmoney.com, Flipping Money Facebook group, or on Momentum 100. You can connect with us there. You can see this on YouTube Live. I appreciate your time. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you at the top. Because the bottom is just too crowded. Now, we'll never look down on anyone unless we're looking down to give them a hand up. I'll see you at the top.